Seamus Award in front. Happy Trails having the last lunge at him. He dives, misses. Seamus Award. The maiden has won it from Happy Trails and Fiorente.
Sidestep is running on from Sweet Idea, but Overreach a class above them, and Overreach wins the slipper.
Faulkner's raced up and grabbed them, and Faulkner's got up to win from Diademi. Fiorente just in front of Red Canoe, who's coming back. Fiorente by a neck. Oliver's lifting him, and Fiorente won the Melbourne Cup again.
Hello and welcome to Favourite Moments, coming to you from Blue Gum Farm here at Euroa in Victoria. It's a stud with a rich history. Let's look back at some of the favourite moments from Blue Gum.
Yeah, wow, that's a while ago now, but a thrill that is still very vivid in my mind. That was the day that Raveneau, a horse that was bred and raised here at Blue Gum Farm and sold by us as a yearling to great clients of ours, managed to win the VRC Derby. So I think it's fair to say that on that day we had the leading 3-year-old in the country from the farm, but not only that, Rancho Ruler, who was another horse that was bred and raised here at the farm, and sold as a yearling. He won the Maribyrnong Plate, which probably made him the leading 2-year-old of the season as well at that point in time. So I was only young. It was early days as far as the preparation of yearlings from our farms, and to be directly associated with those two horses, both of which ended up coming back here to stand at stud at Blue Gum Farm. It was a wonderful, wonderful day. Elvstrom is a horse that we watched from afar win a VRC Derby, win a Caulfield Cup, just have a number of very, very exciting performances at the very highest level. And one way or another, we actually were given the opportunity to become involved in his ownership. He lined up first up in a 1400 metre Group 1 race called the Orr Stakes at Caulfield. And of course, all the new shareholders were very, very excited about being involved in a horse the calibre of Elvstrom. He drew the outside barrier from memory against a crack field of sprinters, but just showed the guts and determination that he showed all the way through his racing career to win the Orr. He went on from that. His second start was in the St George Group 2 at Caulfield, where he refused to let Makybe Diva get past him and won that as well. He started favourite but ran fourth in a Funny Run Australian Cup at his third start, and then we put him on a plane, which was always the plan. We always planned to try and showcase the horse's ability on the international stage. The little hiccup in the Australian Cup had us wondering whether that was still something that we should persevere with. But to Tony's credit, Tony went underground for a week and just lived with the horse, and came back to us and said, no, I think we proceed. So off to Dubai we went, and wow, that was a night I'll never forget.
300 metres back. Willie slides a goal. Prince Kerr. Elgin in on the outside. To Strands Ellis. Elster in front. 150 metres left to go. Willie's in second spot. Really well. Jones going away.
He drew badly again. He was outside, crack field of milers. Nash took him straight to the front, and they never saw him again. And that was terribly exciting. It took a long time before Australians were able to sample that sort of success at the World Cup meeting again. And to be there and be a part of it with Frank and Gary and Johnny Cornish went over with me. I have fond memories of my time with John and the trip we all had, and to see the horse bounce back off the mat after the Australian Cup and all the travel and everything and perform like that, unbelievable. Alinghi was a special filly from day one. I remember going up to the yearling barn early in January to look at the draft of yearlings that we had assembled for Melbourne Premier that year, and the boys had a horse in the laneway, and basically it was silhouetted because I was at one end and the horse was towards the other end of the laneway. And I remember yelling out to them, well, I hope that's the worst one you're going to show me, because this horse just oozed quality and had strength and had presence, and that was a Lingy as a yearling. She went through the prep. She was always an impressive looking filly. And, you know, $80,000, her purchase price is a lot of money, but it's not a hell of a lot of money in the scheme of things at yearling sales. Regardless of the price, the filly was absolutely hammered at the yearling sales. She was picked out as something that was physically a really nice article, and as such, she was in and out of the box like a yo-yo. And I remember just sitting there watching her react to all of this and watching her cope with those stresses and thinking to myself, wow, you're a special sort of horse, because she never ever batted an eyelid. Every time she came out, she just walked up and down beautifully. She would click into position to stand perfectly, and she was just an absolute professional. And then to be able to sit back and watch the result that Lee and the boys got for Rob Slade and his partners who bought the filly was a really, really big thrill. I reckon the biggest thrill with a Lingy was her Blue Diamond win.
Zero began okay in the early stages of the race. Way West and Wager away brilliantly on the outside. Courtney's Cuddles driving up just behind them, and One World wide out. There's Zilzy pushing up along the fence now with Zero. Two lengths Denorum Deaf in the outside, and they were followed well back in the field by Squad. Lingy is second last on the inside. Find the Cash ahead of her, and World Peace is last as they came up the side of the course now, and it's Wager on the inside, a narrow leader by ahead to Zilzy. Two lengths away, Zero, Way West. One World striding up outside these, next to Norham. Courtney's Cuddle Squad followed by Lingy and Find the Cash together, and they were trailed coming around the turn by Deafin and World Peace. Into the straight, and it's Wager the leader. One World 3 or 4 wide coming at it. Zilzy's under the whip next as they straighten out, and then came Zero. World Peace is making some ground. Lingy's in the clear. Wager well clear though, out to the 150 by 3 lengths. Here comes Lingy sailing up the middle of the track. Wager in front, Lingy stride by stride. She's a mighty filly, and Lingy beats Wager by a length. An outstanding win.
And it was a funny time in our history, because that was the year when Incosta moved on up to Coolmore. At Blue Diamond time, he was still here with us, and he was still very much a Blue Gum stallion. And, you know, Ollie had her back a little bit, and she needed to really sprout wings to get home and win the race. And Paddy and I were actually up in Sydney at the time. We had a function up there, and we were up on the top floor of a hotel with some friends watching it on a big screen, and to watch her power home and get the money, and talking to Joe Throsby on the phone straight afterwards, who bred Lingy, and Joe's been a great old friend and client of ours here at Blue Gum. You know, just the interaction with special people at special moments like that, you can't beat it. Yeah, Melbourne Premier's been a happy hunting ground for us, and we were right back on top there this year. The 2014 sale was a terrific sale for us, up amongst the 5 leading vendors. Really proud of our selling rate. We had 21 yearlings there, and we met the market with 20 of them. So that's credit to our vendors. We had some great fun with some big results. We had a cracking new approach colt who made $300,000. We had a very, very nice Lonhro filly. Isn't it funny about timing? Only a little before the race, that filly's half-brother Amber Sky was a Group 1 winner overseas, and was one of the world's leading sprinters, and that was great timing for us with that filly. I mean, that filly had plenty going for her anyway. She was out of a Group-winning Rubiton mare, Truly Wicked, who was a terrific race mare for Des Pope, but yeah, the Triple Crown boys took a fancy to her, and she made $210,000. And Yeah, look, I'm excited about that draft of horses that we sold this year because there were some horses that didn't make that much money that were really, really nice yearlings. And I'm excited for each and every one of the horses we sold at that sale for their futures, because it was just a cracking good draft, and they sold accordingly, and they've gone to good homes, and we really looking forward to following their future in the years to come. Umrum was by Umatilla, and Umatilla was a special horse, a great friend of ours and a very, very good client of ours over the years. Bill DuPont bought Umatilla as a yearling, and we were involved with Umatilla early days through Bill's association. Tommy Hughes trained the horse. He was a really, really good sprinter. He was a Group 1 winning 2-year-old. You know, if he hadn't been born in the same year as Scalacci, he could have been anything. He sort of ran a few seconds and thirds to the great Scalacci. But he was a terrific racehorse, Umatilla, who Bill then retired back here at Blue Gum Farm. And he produced 6 Group 1 winners. There was one year there, I think it was the 99-2000 season, he had 3 Group 1 winners. Umrum won one of his 2 Turacs that year. Bohemoth won an Adelaide Cup, and Streak won a Sydney Cup.
Up the 400-metre mark, and Umrum slipped a couple of lengths in front. He travelled okay, Umrum. He shot 3 in front round the home turn now from Go Flash Go. Lazagoleta pulled to the outside, and then Laurie's Lottery Delirious crawled to the outside with Gold Guru. Had a bump, but Umrum with a big lead. 150 to go. He's 4 lengths in front from Go Flash Go. Crawled the outside from Gold Guru and in Chattanooga. But Umrum's going to make it back-to-back Turacs. And Umrum's won it, running away by 3.5 to Go Flash Go second.
Umrum was a really nice horse that we bred and raised here at Blue Gum and took across to Adelaide and sold him at the Adelaide sales. He made $30,000 over there that year. And he just had such remarkable longevity. Over a number of seasons on the racetrack, he just continued to perform at the top level. His record in the Turac was outstanding. Won it twice, placed on other occasions, and really gave us a lot of enjoyment to be able to sit there season in, season out for so long and watch him competing so well at the very, very top level. He was a ripper. Inkster's a special girl. She's by Umatilla, and she was always a very, very big filly. And I sort of said to myself a long time out that we'd take that filly to the sale, but if she didn't make a certain price, I was going to bring her home. And she didn't make that price, and I did bring her home. And we raced Inkster on lease with 3 really good friends of ours, all first-time owners. And we entrusted her into the care of Mick Price. And I think Mick wondered what the hell we'd given him in the early days. Big and slow are words that automatically come to mind. And it took her a while to find her feet, but Mick did a fantastic job with her, and we had a lot of fun with her that St Ledger day.
Moment in time about to come out. Inside of her, Attaboy, our Miss Moe wider out. They were followed next of all as they turned by Houseboat sneaking up on the fence. Further out on the track, Delarose. In between runners, Inkster from Yarra Park, and further back in the field, Fast Ruler down to the 400. Go Phenomenal taken on by Moment in Time. Houseboats gets the gap in the centre. Delarose starts to run on. Inkster inside of her coming with runs. Then Fast Ruler and Eugene. Eugene getting a run near the inside, finishing it off. Inkster in front of Moment in Time, Eugene. Inkster and Moment in Time. Moment in Time fighting the fillies. Inkster with a nose in front. Moment in Time comes again. Nothing in it. It's a bob of the head. Moment in Time or Inkster.
We were all there with our kids in the stands at Flemington, yelling and screaming, and thoroughly enjoyed the experience. She went up to Sydney and ran second in a lead-up stake to the Sydney Cup. Didn't get to the Sydney Cup, unfortunately, but she ran third in a South Australian Oaks. Look, she wasn't an absolute top-line Group 1 filly, but she was a homebred stakes-winning filly that brought us a lot of joy through the connections that we made with her. And we've actually got her first foal, who's a really nice Encosta de Largo colt, just turned 3. That we put a partnership together and we're racing him and mix training him. And she's got a Reduced Choice yearling colt this year that will be going to the sales next year. And she's recently been covered by War. So, yeah, we're pretty excited about our future with her. Well, Behemoth was special in as much as born and raised here again, owned by the farm. And I don't know what it was with Behemoth, but I took a liking to the horse. And a great mate of mine, Johnny Sadler, I said to John, leading into Melbourne Premier that year, I said, John, I said, if this horse can't make $16,000, I want you to buy him for me. He spent every last sack of it. But anyway, $16,000, and the horse was knocked down to us. And once again, friends became involved in that horse with us. We had so much fun with Behemoth. He ran in 2 Melbourne Cups. He was only beaten 4 lengths in one of them. He won an Adelaide Cup.
Racing in the Cup. And towards the inside, Ultra Smug was one of the fastest out. Luna Tudor out well with Jamestown. Oxford Dollar going forward in the early stages with also Karazi a bit closer today. Zabuan heading up towards the lead with Prince Standan. Babetto was out very deep going forward, and so was the Freedman trained mare Sky Trist. As they move down towards the 400-metre mark on the first round, Ultra Smug up against the inside is one of the leaders with Jamestown and Prince Standan, and wider out Sky Trist. Babetto right behind those with Zabuan. Luna Tudor was next. Oxford Dollar on the inside of Karazi. Then Majestic Avenue. Smites' Rivalry, the 3-year-old filly, the grey. She was next on the inside. Behemoth's got 4 behind him. They are Frenzal Rom, Skybow, Royal Caliph, and Lady Elsie was last of all. So by the judge the first time around. And it's Prince Standan who now rocks to the lead. He just tugs for rain a little bit in front as well, Prince Standan, as they turn out of the home straight. It's Prince Standan, the leader. Moving up on his outside, racing second was one of the roughies. I speak of Babetto. Racing third next on the inside was Sky Trist. So a beautiful piece of riding that by King. He's got the mare from a wide gate across to be in the box seat, travelling third. Ultra Smug was next. It's tucked away next there on the inside. On its outside then as they move into the backstage of the track now was Zabuan. Just in front of it, Jamestown. Luna Tudor next the inside from Oxford Dollar. Then Karazi, 2 or 3 to Majestic Avenue. Then Smites' Rivalry. Behemoth was next from Frenzal Rom. Royal Caliph was well back with Sky Bow. And Lady Elsie was last of all. They're basically halfway in the smoke-free Adelaide Cup, and it's Prince Standan as expected in front. Leads by a length to Babetto second. Sky Trist getting a beautiful run third. Zabuan trapped a bit deep going forward around Jamestown. Ultra Smug next the inside, then Karazi. Luna Tudor, the Perth Cup winner, was next from Oxford Dollar. Then Majestic Avenue, he's midfield. Smites' Rivalry, the grey. She was next tucked away on the inside of Behemoth. Then Frenzal Rom. Behind it, Royal Caliph with Sky Bow. And Lady Elsie was last of all. They're about to work out to the far section of the track now with about 1,300 metres to travel, and still Prince Standan defies them. Leads by a neck to Zabuan, moving up second on the outside. Sky Trist has been given every possible chance here. She's racing third on the inside of Babetto. A length further back to Ultra Smug, travelling next on the inside of Jamestown. A further length in the field then to Luna Tudor. Karazi's now started to improve as well. Further back in the field then we had Oxford Dollar. He's tucked away on the inside of Jamestown, starting to lose some ground from Majestic Avenue. Then Smites' Rivalry. Gouchy getting to the outside now on Behemoth from Frenzal Rom. Royal Caliph was still well back with Lady Elsie, and Skybow is last for home as they're about the wheel at the 600-metre mark. And Prince Standan brings them into the home straight, leading narrowly from Zabuan the outside. Karazi moving up 3 deep. Starting to join in quickly now was Majestic Avenue. Behind those, Frenzal Rom saved ground near the inside. Sky Trist not doing much. Behemoth starting to join in now for the Gouch with a big run. And Lady Elsie right down the outside, but Behemoth moved up to Majestic Avenue at the 300. Karazi still there. Then Ultra Smug, Lady Elsie and Royal Caliph, but Behemoth for Gouchy broke clear in the cup. Got a length in front of Karazi, Majestic Avenue. Then Ultra Smug, Oxford Dollar late, but Behemoth's home for the Gouch. And Behemoth wins the cup. Behemoth first, Oxford Dollar dive through, probably got second.
And that day in Adelaide was really quite special because the race was scheduled to be run on the Saturday previous. but it rained cats and dogs, and Bowie didn't like it soft. So he was actually scratched from the race, and the program started at Morfordville that day, and they had to abandon the race meeting halfway through. So the Adelaide Cup wasn't run. And as a result, we were back in the nominations and able to accept to run at Victoria Park the following Saturday. And the rest, as they say, is history. So, you know, my partners who were meant to be at Morfordville to watch him run the week before, they had plans for the following Saturday and they couldn't come along. So Robert and Gouch and I were over there deputising, and we got the job done. It was a great thrill. Well, my memories of Rubiton start with my father, Graham, telling me that he had been approached by Des Pope, who had purchased Michael Willisey's interests in Rubiton when Willisey, I believe, was disbanding Transmedia Park. And my understanding is that Des had come to my dad, Graham, and asked whether we would have any interest in standing Rubiton. And I remember him being a sensational racehorse. I was there Cox Plate Day. What a win. I mean, he slipped on the home turn, his back end went from under him, and he was still able to hit the line. And, you know, I remember seeing Michael Willisey there and the excitement that generated in him as an owner. But the horse had been at stud for a little period of time, and he hadn't really set the world on fire. And I'm thinking to myself, crying out loud, Graham, what are we doing here? But he was right, my dad. I think from the time Rubiton left Transmedia and travelled south to Victoria and through the gates of Blue Gum Farm, he just picked it up a notch and then another notch and then another notch.
Ready, racing. Marwong, Vogue, Our Poetic Prince and Bozam away well. Drought back to the rear with Fair Sir and Rubiton. Vogue led, Tidal Light coming across is trying to head him off. And Tidal Light got over level with Vogue, who's pulling a bit and took the lead out of the straight. 3 lengths to Marwong third. Bozam's up fourth today. High Regard went via the Cape. Poetic Prince up fifth on the inside, and then came Carpstad. High Regard very wide from Fair Sir, Midnight Fever. Campaign King is back next, and second last Rubiton and 2 to Drought. Vogue by 5 lengths at the 1400 metres from Tidal Light. 4 lengths to Marwong, a length Bozam shading Poetic Prince the rails. 1 to Carpstad, High Regard deep from Fair Sir, and then Midnight Fever, Rubiton, Campaign King and Drought. Vogue's 8 lengths in front round the 1200 metre corner. They're going at record pace. Second is Tidal Light. Another 8 or 10 lengths to Marwong. They're followed further back a length to Bozam, Poetic Prince, High Regard. He'll fall in a hole from Carpstad. They're followed by Fair Sir, Midnight Fever, 2 to Rubiton and Campaign King and 3 to Drought. I've never seen a Cox Plate like this. Spread out at the 800. Vogue 6 lengths clear from Tidal Light. 8 lengths Marwong. Poetic Prince off the fence has gone up fourth. Bozam a length and a half away from Fair Sir, Carpstad. Rubiton's travelling well. Then Midnight Fever, High Regard, Campaign King and Drought. With 600 to go. Vogue 4 lengths to Marwong. Tidal Light I think's gone. Then Poetic Prince, Bozam. Here's Midnight Fever letting go the filly. Rubiton trying to get out, and then follows Carpstad, and Drought's broken down. 400 out, and the leader still Vogue, a length to Marwong. Our Poetic Prince is travelling beautifully the outside, and Rubiton's getting out. Our Poetic Prince has claimed the leaders on the turn. Rubiton and Fair Sir out after it. It's Our Poetic Prince in front. Rubiton stumbled, bumped into Fair Sir. Our Poetic Prince a length in front. Rubiton gets balanced, races up on the outside. Rubiton's hit the front, and Rubiton's won the Cox Plate. About a neck to Our Poetic Prince, a length to Fair Sir.
Rubiton was a fantastic sire. He had the ability to get top 2-year-olds. He had the ability to get top sprinters. He had the ability to get horses that travelled over a trip. You talk about favourite wins. Well, Fields of Omar, 2 Cox Plates. Just spine-tingling stuff. For both of those Cox Plates, Paddy and I were at the Euroa show with our kids doing Pony Club. I wasn't able to be at either one of them. Radio glued to my ear, and probably putting on a performance that had many people wondering what the hell was going on. But and there were many moments like that with Rubiton. Rubitano winning a Newmarket, Flavour, Monopolise, international winner in Hong Kong. Innovation Girl, what a great race mare she was. Adam won a Stradbroke. He was a real individual, Rubiton. He wasn't a run-of-the-mill horse. He was his own horse. He had some really interesting idiosyncrasies. But he was a lot of fun and provided us with some wonderful memories.
Hope you've enjoyed some of those highlights associated with Blue Gum Farm. We'll see you again next time on Favourite Moments.
Seamus Award in front. Henley Trails having the last lunge at him. He dives, misses. Seamus Award. The maiden has won it from Henley Trails and Clearente.
Sidestep is running on from Sweet Idea, but Overreach a class above them, and Overreach wins the slipper.
Faulkner's raced up and grabbed them, and Faulkner's gone up to win from Dear Nimmy.